friends, as you see the title of the video, I'm here going to demystify the interconnection between encryptions, state of data, hashing, and etc. etc. When myself preparing for CISSP course to get a better holistic idea on various data encryption and its connection to data in rest and data in transit, and also the hashing of data, I went through many materials. I googled it and searched on many YouTube video and also tried CISSP official text. Of course, I have got the detailed explanation of the concept, but piece by piece. But because it was decentralized, I was having a hard time to get interconnection between them. So I thought of compiling it for me and for the candidate preparing for CISSP, CISA, Security Plus, or any other cyber security course. Before beginning this video, I'm assuming you guys are familiar with the basic security triad, CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability, and have some idea about encryption algorithm like AES, RSA, DES, etc. If not, please refer it after this video, because knowing the concept of algorithm will give you an idea why we use certain algorithm and its variant. We don't have to memorize all. The internal process of algorithms are much complicated, but it is always good to go through it at least once. First of all, why do we use encryption? We use it to keep the confidentiality of the data, so no one able to see other than the authorized person. And as you know, there are two states for data, which are data in rest and data in transit. Now look at the table on the screen. You can see the list of algorithm used to encrypt both data in rest and data in transit. Now why those algorithms are divided into symmetric and non-symmetric? I'm assuming you might have some familiarity with those terms, but those who are not, let me give you a quick explanation. Symmetric encryption use same key password for encryption and decryption of data. Usually we use symmetric encryption for the data in rest because we don't need to share the key to remote user, and it is fast when compared with asymmetric encryption. But what if we are sending data to a remote user, Bob? We can't send key or password to Bob in public space. So we use asymmetric encryption method. In asymmetric encryption, two different key or shared key used to encrypt and decrypt the data. Usually they are called private key and public key. It is okay to send public key on the public domain because it can only encrypt data. To decrypt the data we received, we should use our private key, which we do not need to send anyone. We should not. There are many protocols to exchange this shared key between local user and a remote user. But the problem is symmetric key is not as fast as asymmetric key is not as fast as symmetric key. To solve this issue, we combine these two encryption together, which I will be explaining on the later stage of this video. Now, if you look at the table, the last one but not the least, while we receive the data from Bob, how we do know that it is not tampered or confirm the integrity of the message? Bob has to hash it with the hash algorithm. So with this two of the security triad, it's been fulfilled confidentiality and integrity. Now, if you look at the table you can see the state of data and the method we use to encrypt, are whether asymmetric or symmetric. Some of them are used both encryption method. For example, during HTTPS data transmission, browser use RSA to asymmetric encryption and then exchange key publicly, and with the secret key received will be using AES encryption and then the send data. Because as I said earlier in this video, asymmetric encryption is not fast as symmetric. We will also check the performance index of each on later stage on this video. So only to exchange the key we use asymmetric, and then to send the actual payload, that is data, we encrypt it with a symmetric key itself, so it will help to send the data fast. This combination of symmetric and asymmetric encryption algorithm, and with a choice of its variant, is called cipher suite, which usually consists of algorithm we use for asymmetric encryption and protocol used to exchange the key and algorithm to use the symmetric encryption, and finally the type of hashing algorithm and its variant. Let's see next sheet with the list of best cipher suite on an order of best security. First one is the most secure one. Here you can see key exchange is done with ECDH, which means elliptic Diffie-Hellman, and asymmetric algorithm used here to exchange the key, and ECDSA, which is elliptical curve digital signature algorithm, is the asymmetric key encryption, and 256-bit version of AES used for symmetric encryption, and lastly SHA-384 to hash the message. In this table we have only discussed about the best cipher suite selection. What if we want to compare the performance of key exchange and asymmetric key performance based on the speed and the security? Let's see the comparison on the next sheet. If you look at the above table, you can see best optimum performance of key exchange is when RSA use 372-bit key, which can be achieved with only 128-bit symmetric key, and 256-bit ECDH, which is elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman. Before going to below table, please understand a quick tip. RSA is not only an algorithm, but also it's an exchange protocol at the same time. Now below table discuss about the symmetric key encryption comparison based on the key length. We can see ECC gives an optimum security with 256-bit key, whereas RSSA or DSA required 372-bit. On the fourth sheet, you can see list of variant available for each algorithm. This is the part you have to memorize some of them, at least the latest one and its variant. In the symmetric list, NIS recommendation is AES 256-bit at least, and in this asymmetric list they recommend RSA 2048 implementation, but many new implementations are done with ECDSA also. You can see on the comparison sheet we did, and is one of the best choice. And when it comes to hashing, SHA-3 the most secure choice. we might at least may want to remember the SHA-2 and SHA-3 variant for the exam. Last sheet is not for exam but to use in real life for a reference purpose, to know what are the other hashing algorithm and what are the variant of it. I'm also attaching the link to download the sheet on the description. So friends, with this I'm concluding this video here. I'm planning for more cheat sheet and demystification of the complex subject, mostly in cybersecurity field and other interested topic. So kindly subscribe the channel and let me know if you need any specific video from me. Thanks again. Thank you for watching.